I think it's funny how when you really don't want to do something, you think of some pretty creative excuses on why you shouldn't. And although I'm out here and I'm about ready to run in the cold, I definitely don't want to be. I woke up this morning and I thought of 100 excuses of why I shouldn't run, why it's in my best interest not to run. Some of those excuses being things like looking out the window and seeing snow, looking at my watch and finding out that it's only at 5% battery, and heaven forbid I run without a watch. I'm sure that's not possible. Thinking about my 2 or 3 pairs of running shoes and how they're not really equipped for the snow, that maybe I should invest in some winter shoes before I run. My car being completely covered in snow was just icing on top of the cake. But in that analogy, if that's icing, it was frozen. It did not come off easily. Today's my day off, so with no work, with nothing else to do, maybe I should just rest, which means just skip. And I haven't had any coffee yet. One thing that popped in my head though was this idea that excuses turn into bad decisions, and bad decisions impact future performance. I've just been a quote machine recently. I made that up. But there's always a couple things to keep in mind when you start thinking through reasons why you shouldn't do something that's probably good for you. When I think about my goals, beginning with the end in mind, that 3:30 time in Cleveland, Ohio in May of next year, that's a really tough time for me. And I know that if I'm going to want to hit that goal, I'm going to have to do whatever it takes. And if the worst thing I have to do is get up on my day off and go run a couple short miles in the cold, I think it's worth it. Like I've said in previous videos, your confidence comes from your previous work. When you're ready to run your race, you're going to look back at difficult things that you did and you're going to use those as confidence boosters before your run. If you look back and you skipped workouts, you took days off, you cut your runs short, you're not going to feel that good about your performance if you think it's going to be close. But when you've put in the work, you've done hard things, all of a sudden that confidence is just there when you're about to run. You don't have to feel motivated. You don't even have to want to, but I do think it's good to get out there and go through the motions because those simple motions will make you a better runner. And at the end of the day, if you're not motivated enough or you can't make time to do what you need to do, then just go back to bed. This video is not going to help you any further. Started out a little bit fast, as I expected because it was so cold, but we're calming down a bit, we're getting into a rhythm. Still haven't broken a sweat yet though. All right, mile 3, 8:27. Same as we had pretty much for the one before. So we're still holding really strong here. Finally starting to warm up a little bit. By no means was it ever supposed to be easy. Obviously, someone like myself, you probably as well, we're signing up and we're paying money to run 26 miles. So if we're dumb enough to do that, we're crazy enough to probably come out here when it looks like this and get in some miles. But with that being said, our run is done, 3.5 miles complete. All right, and our totals for this run, 29 minutes, a total of 8 minutes, 31 seconds per mile. Now that this run is complete, I'm very happy that we got it done. I feel way more accomplished. It's a good thing when you can do the hardest thing, the one thing you don't want to do early in the day. That way, once that's done, and that's the hardest thing you're gonna do, the rest of the day just feels so much better. So I guess my point for this entire video is, if you're not feeling motivated as a runner or in any other situation, same. So does literally everybody else at one point or another. At the end of the day, I'm not really making this video to motivate you. I'm really making this video as a reminder to you that you're in control. You have the power to do absolutely whatever you want. Just keep in mind that whatever decision you make, that has an impact. I've already crossed the finish line. not happy with my time. And obviously I'm not a professional runner. It's just for fun, but I wasn't happy with my time. I want to do better. I want to get faster. It's just something I'm getting really passionate about. So I really want to make sure that I'm doing whatever I can to make that happen. You need to give yourself the best possible chance you can to cross that finish line in whatever time you've selected for yourself. If there's one thing we all know, it's that nothing in the marathon is ever guaranteed. So at the end of the day, you don't need my motivation. You just need a reminder to block out the excuses and get out there and go work. To the unmotivated runner, which was me a couple hours ago, you did it. You overcame the obstacles, you overcame the excuses, you did the hardest thing you had to do early in the morning despite the snow, despite the cold, and now, for the rest of the day, I get to do whatever I want, knowing that the hardest thing about the day is already behind me. And if you're the unmotivated runner watching this, the video's about to end, so you might want to get up and go work. Choice is yours. And the one thing you got to remember is that nobody's going to make that choice for you.